Good afternoon, welcome to Teleislas News with the most important information of the day. This coming Saturday, the 24th, on the island, a series of recreational activities will be developed and carried to all citizens within the framework of the National Week for Healthy Mobility.
For this September 24th, within the framework of the National Week for Healthy, Safe and Sustainable Mobility, an event promoting recreational activities aimed at the entire island community will be held in the department with the support of the Health Secretariat.
The Health Secretariat, through the plan of collective interventions led by the departmental SSE, we will have for the 24th a series of activities as part of the week of healthy, safe and sustainable mobility. On that day, there will be a bicycle tournament, activities with children, we will be taking the attendees' blood pressure, we will do aerobics, among other dynamic activities for everyone to participate. This is an activity that is open to the entire community and there is no limit to the number of people who can participate. Everyone who wants to join us can come and do so. It will be at the I Love San Andres starting at 5 in the morning.
The departmental government invites our citizens to adopt healthy lifestyle habits and be part of this activity.
After the high rate of difficulties in the family nuclei of the islands and the need to have an available foster homes, Family Welfare opens a call for foster mothers or fathers to register and become part of the entity.
The Colombian Institute of Family Welfare continues to call families of San Andres and Old Providence to apply to be part of the foster homes modality, through which the rights of children and adolescents under the protection of these volunteers are guaranteed. This was announced by the director, Juan Carlos Bonilla.
Estamos en un proceso de convocatoria para...
We are in the process of doing a call for the creation of foster homes. This is a protection modality led by the ICBF. What it seeks to protect and to restore the rights of children and adolescents once a family defender determines that the life and the health of a child in a family environment is at risk. The idea is that we can receive applications in order to make home visits and determine whether they meet the minimum requirements to form a foster home.
It should be noted that there are currently 3 foster homes in the department, which are not enough, according to the director of the Family Welfare Institute. At the same time, he explains the requirements for a family to apply and become a foster home.
En este momento tenemos 3 hogares sustitutos que...
At the moment, we have 3 foster homes, and many times it is not enough. Basically, the foster mother or foster father must not have a criminal record, must have a decent home that has minimum spaces to be able to care for them. The Family Welfare Institute trains that mother, provides and also gives monthly resources so that the mother can take care of that child. This means that they will provide food, clothing and everything the child needs to develop while the family commissioner defines the situation of the child or adolescent.
In other news, the IDEA monitors conditions in the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, which could have an evolution of the 70% in the few next days and could affect the archipelago. Therefore, the recommendation is for the population to be attentive to the official communications issued by the entity regarding the evolution of weather conditions.
Through Communication 114, the IDEAM announces that currently they are conducting surveillance as the entity in charge of permanent monitoring in conjunction with other instances of the National Risk and Disaster Management System. It is allowed to inform that a tropical wave located in the central tropical Atlantic moves to the west with a speed of 15 to 20 knots according to the National Hurricane Center. The system continues to show signs of organization and is likely to become a tropical depression in the next 2 or 3 days. The most recent projection indicates that the probability of cyclone formation increased to 70% within 48 hours and to 90% for the next 5 days. The disturbance will move west-northwest across the eastern and central Caribbean Sea.
En las últimas
In the last hours, a tropical wave that is transiting near the Atlantic Ocean, near the smaller islands, presents a greater evolution or development. Therefore, we invite the community in general, especially the Colombian Caribbean region, the Guajira Peninsula, the Sierra Nevada of Santa Marta, and the archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and Catlina, to be very attentive to the communiques issued by IDEAM and the Risk and Disaster Management System, so that you can take preventive measures before the possibility of the development of this system in the coming days.
It is worth noting that the IDEAM will continue to monitor the conditions of the ocean and the atmosphere, and based on the analysis of the forecast models and the evolution of low pressures, will be communicating in a timely manner to the community and the national system of disaster risk management on the change in conditions or a possible impact on the Colombian territory through special official communications, messages in the media and social networks.
The Secretariat of Agriculture and Fisheries carries out control and surveillance activities on establishments that sell sea products to the community, with the objective of verifying that the quality standards, limits, and sizes of the products are met.
The Secretaries of Health and Agriculture and Fisheries are working in an articulate manner to carry out control and surveillance of establishments and persons selling sea products. Furthermore, monitoring is carried out to ensure that the ban on queen cone is not violated, which will be enforced until October the 21st.
Crawfish right now not in bed. We just having that vigilance to see the size and to see that the market what going on right now in San Andres, Providence and St. Catlin is the right size to commercialize. So we just having that activity not only with the Secretary of Agriculture, part of health, that is we having articulation to carry out this important activity. We also having open debate for conchs, for queen conchs, the 1st of November, that we have a population to catch in for 9 tons. That is what we assume, because we have one from the UNAP that we have early reserve that we can catch that amount back with conchs is on the time of extinction.
The Secretary of Agriculture and Fisheries stressed the importance of not fishing the queen conchs during the East closure, taking into account that it is an endangered species. Furthermore, he reminded the community that fishing for species during the closed season may result in penalties in addition to the total seizure of the product.
And considering the cancellation of routes between Cartagena and Barranquilla to the island of San Andres by an airline, the Secretary of Tourism and the President of Cotelco San Andres branch expressed their opinions.
En términos económicos complica un poco.
In economic terms, it is a little complicated because we know the efforts that other airlines make to begin to activate greater connectivity with cities like Cartagena, where we could benefit through the multi-destination of people who enter Colombia through Cartagena and take flight to the island.
In the same vein, Archibald indicated what was discussed with airline executive.
En conversaciones.
In previous conversations that we have had with the directors of the airline, they have explained us that these routes will be served through their job, which indicates that they will be carried out from the city of Medellin. This is due to fuel costs, which increase a little, which generates an imbalance in the cost of the operation.
For his part, the president of Cotelco San Andres branch gave his considerations on the effects of these flight cancellations.
We want to tell you that for our islands, the issue of connectivity is survival. It is known to everyone that the island economy dynamic through tourism and the cancellation of different cities will bring a contraction to the market, which is already sensitive. The absence of national destinations and direct from generates an increase in the cost of tickets, reducing the people with monetary capacity to be able to travel to the islands.
Tomorrow, September 2nd, the tourism sector of the island will meet with the airline to see how they can provide institutional support to the airline, taking into account the effects of the increase in fuel prices worldwide.
And now let's learn about other facts that are making news today in our brief news section.
The Sea Flower 2022 expedition continues in its field phase. The Colombian Commission of the Oceans revealed images of the work being conducted in the archipelago. The expedition is currently being carried out in East-Southeast Key, which has the purpose of generating comprehensive scientific knowledge of the Biosphere Reserve to improve and strengthen the resource management strategies that occurred in the Sea Flower. The first shift of the expedition began on September 9th. Different research projects are being worked on. 3 of them dedicated to biodiversity, the evaluation of fishing resources, 1 dedicated to the study of sharks, a process that has been evaluated for 5 years. 2 projects focus on mapping ecosystems to assess changes in coral cover and other ecosystems. The Environmental Protection Group of the National Police rescued 2 abandoned puppies in a Serebia neighborhood. They were immediately transferred to the departmental shelter where they will be cared for by professional personnel. The departmental government held a discussion with young people from the island as part of the Suicide Prevention Day. During the event, topics such as mental health, preventing suicidal behavior, and promoting socio-emotional learning and psychological well-being were discussed to guarantee access to comprehensive mental health care.
With this, we reach to the end of our broadcast, but we see you tonight at 8 p.m. with more of Teleislas News. Good afternoon.